Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to a late night NES stream. It's been a while since we've played some NES because this game has been a thorn in my side. Those of you over on the Patreon or YouTube member side would probably have seen a video I did a couple of weeks ago now about Stack Up. And after that, I beat Stanley, The Search for Dr. Livingston, which was actually a pretty cool game. And then it's been Star Force. It's been all Star Force. And I'm hoping that tonight, with a few hours of work, we might finally be able to put it in the bag. HPSS over on the Twitch side, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. You watched a lot of your YouTube videos, so you thought I'd check it out on here. We'll really appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed over on the Twitch side. And we got Brady, Daniel, and Christian over on the YouTube chat. Hope you're all having a great night, and thanks for stopping by the NES stream, which let me once again double check that the microphone is on. And once again, it says it's on, but if it's really on, who knows? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. I mean, if you give me a thumbs down, it kind of also confirms that the microphone's working. Raynok, hello! Hope you're having a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're going to play one of the more difficult games I've been met with on the NES, Star Force. It's a shmup, and I love my shmups, but, you know, I was able to knock off Silver Surfer in like 90 minutes, and everyone was amazed by that. It's funny because there's been so many shmups. I've listed them all in the description on the YouTube side. That just start with S. You got S.C.A.T, you got Silkworm, you got Sky Kid, Sky Shark, Silver Surfer, of course, like Spy Hunter, like so many shmups. Sqoon was a cool one. I've always wanted to beat Sqoon, so when that one finally came up, it was cool to knock it off the list. But Star Force has been the most formidable of them all so far. And I think that it's going to be fun tonight to see if we can finally take care of it. I've learned a lot about this game, and I'm looking forward to sharing it all with you. But assuming that everyone's good to go, we're just about to get started here. And yeah, so the way this game works, and in the Discord server, I posted the Greek alphabet, which you're going to want to get acquainted with that. Star Force is 24 levels long to correspond with the 24 letters of the Greek alphabet. Each level obviously represented by one of them, and it goes through them in order, so that's how you'll know if we're getting closer to the end or not. It doesn't actually number the levels. You just have to pay attention to the Greek alphabet, and sometimes I lose track of where we are, so again, refer to that image yourself should you want to keep up to date on just where we are in Star Force. You saw me playing Unveil the Lost Levels, HPSS 384M. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And yeah, every Thursday we're still doing Rareware Thursday. We've of course been doing the Banjo-Kazooie games. I just got my hands on an N64 flash cart. So this Monday we'll probably check out some Mario 64 ROM hacks. And of course at some point we'll do some Banjo-Kazooie ones as well. And I still love to play some more Donkey Kong stuff someday. So to anyone who found me because of that, thank you so much for hanging around, and hope to get back to more of that someday too. You don't know the Greek alphabet though. Again, it's in the Discord server there. Let me read it off to you. Let me pull it up here. You probably know how it begins. It goes Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Xi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma, Tau, Upsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi, Omega. You get all that? Just get ready. It's coming. And I think it's probably time to start. So let's go and play some Star Force, which I hope all of you enjoy because it's a fun game, but darn is it difficult. Let's jump in. And man, I've learned so much about this game. When do I start explaining things? Also, it's going to probably take me a couple tries to get back on track here. So again, 24 stages of flying through space and shooting all of the stuff that comes at you. As you can see, we got enemies coming in various formations, and we're shooting them as they come. So, it's pretty basic in that regard, but the depth that this game has is actually fairly significant once you kind of get into it. So the next formation does not show up until the previous formation is off screen. So you can kind of, spread the formations out a bit more if you want. by always kind of leaving a straggler from the previous one, and that reminds me a lot of when we played the last Starfighter over a year ago. When we would kind of use that to our advantage, we'd always keep one kind of enemy remaining on screen to stop the next formation from showing up. So this shows up. When it starts flashing, if you just pound on it, you get 50,000 points before it forms into like a bigger ship that you have to defeat, and you don't really get a bonus from it. And we just got a 1-up from hitting 50,000. You get 1-ups at 50,000, 200,000, and 500,000 from what I've seen. It kind of seems to drop off a cliff after that, but we'll see. But alright, first boss, everyone, Alpha. Bosses in this game are actually not a big deal. They are all exactly the same. It's the stages to get to the bosses that are the tough part. Just, you know, that simple formation to beat the boss, and you're done, like every single time. Dragonia! Look, it's Star Force Mega Man! Of course, that was the first thing I thought, you know, back in the day when I got this NES game. I was like, oh man, you know, Mega Man Star Force, right? Unfortunately, no relation, but still a very fun game. Let's see, Trucy. N64 graphics look a lot worse than I remember, but thanks to we're able to experience this. So no, this is not being played on a flash card, and I know you're talking about how, yeah, that's in like, you know, what's it called? The EverDrives and stuff, Kriz and all that over in there. But no, this is a real NES card we're checking out tonight. So a power-up here. Again, I'm making mistakes that I wouldn't normally make, but I'm also just trying to concentrate on the stream. So this is all you get in terms of a power-up. Your speed and shot speed are multiplied by 1.5 times when powered up, but otherwise your sprite's a little bit bigger, and it's still just one hit to die. So what's really interesting about what just happened was we got a 1-up. When you see those question marks on the side, if you pound on those until one of them shows a smiley face, then you get a 1-up. But if you don't see the 1-up, then, you know, too bad for you. Also, okay, let me concentrate for a second. So yeah, a lot of things shooting at you in this game, so you kinda gotta pay attention to that. But the thing is, because we died, it sent us back a little bit, and yeah, I'm not, I need to get into a groove, I guess, and adapt to what it feels like to play this while also commentating on it. So basically, you get sent back, and that would have meant that we got another chance to pick up the 1-up. But I didn't get to the 1-up before I died again, so, you know, there was that. This enemy comes down to your kind of vertical distance and then shoots across the screen like that. These guys come across in a circular motion. And the boss. So you might be asking, how come we got to the boss before we got back to those question marks? You said you were taken back in the stage after dying. And the reason for that is that bosses appearing is not related to distance traveled on the map. Instead, there is a hidden value that I actually, call this what you want, I opened up the ROM in an emulator and looked at the data in RAM, and I was able to discover that there is a value which increases depending on things destroyed. Now this can include enemies, this also includes the blocks all over the screen. So here's that 1-up thing again, we got that smiley face, we got our 1-up back, but yes, there is a hidden value that you are no way to have awareness of. You know, should you just be playing the game normally. But this value, so for those who know, you got bits and bytes and all that. Bytes, 256 bits, and that can be represented hexadecimally by 00 through FF. FF representing the 256. Or rather, the 255. And what am I trying to say? I'm trying to get my thoughts here. We're also playing the shmup. So these guys are nice because they kind of come down like that, and they will shoot at you once, at least in this appearance, and then just kind of hang around the screen for a while. So this gives us a chance to just kind of break blocks while he's kind of loafing around doing his thing. But basically, when that hexadecimal value hits FA, or about 250, that is when the boss shows up. It doesn't matter exactly like how far you've traveled on the map or anything like that. But once you see... Oh, I didn't get the 1-up on that one. Again, we'll get back into the groove here. That's when the boss shows up, and you get those points. You increase that value by destroying enemies and the blocks around the map. Destroying an enemy will give you 1 point towards that value, while destroying the blocks in the background will give you 2 points. So it's actually to your advantage to try and destroy blocks more than the enemies, which is why it then makes sense to do something like this, where we can prevent the next set of enemies from appearing, while we also try and destroy as many blocks as possible. So again, let me reiterate that. There's a value that, once it hits FA, and that's a 1-up, will spawn the boss. You have no idea of knowing exactly what this is, except that destroying an enemy will add 1 to that value, and destroying blocks in the background will add 2. And so, see, we hit that value, we hit FA, and the next boss is now spawning, and then it will loop around, so it hits FF, goes back to 0, and then when we hit FA again, the next boss will spawn. So that's 3 down. That's Gamma. 21 to go. The furthest I've made it is Area O, which would be 15 out of 24. So we're going to see if we can fix that tonight. But yeah, that's a quick scientific explanation of exactly what's going on inside of Star Force. So it's not about how far you go, it's about how much you destroy. And then the boss shows up. And that brings us to Area D. Good old Delta. And we need to get another 250 points, so let's do it. Again, enemies worth 1, blocks worth 2, so you want to get as many of those blocks on the side as you can. The really nice thing, one thing I really like about this game, is that A and B are shoot. So I've never really understood the people who will, like, press the shoot buttons with, like, an index finger or something like that. But in this game, it makes a lot of sense, because I can put my index finger on the B button, and my middle finger on the A button, so when I'm not pressing one, I can be pressing the other, so like as one kind of finger raises up, I can press the other one. Now this formation is annoying, but it also means that we're about to get a power-up, because it means that this guy will show up next. Destroy him for some easy points. And whenever it's showing that, the bonus on screen, it's nice too, because enemies won't show up. And then after him, there's always a power-up, as we can see right here. So that power-up going back and forth would, again, make our ship better. But if you don't grab it the first time, it shows up one more time, but it won't show up if you grab it the first time. So that can also be used to kind of draw out the map a little bit. Oh man, I died all that good dodging, and I died to the freaking easiest part. Again, it will take us a couple of tries to probably get back into it today. But again, level 15 is as far as I've made it. So we're going to try and at least top that. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, like, the adrenaline of streaming it will get me, hyped and in the mood here. Enemies are overall fairly predictable once you've played the game enough. But it takes a bit to get there, and then with so much going on, it can kind of get to you as well. The nice thing about enemy shots is that they always shoot at your current position. The game is not smart enough to predict where your ship will be in, say, like a second's time from now and shoot ahead to there. If an enemy fires a shot, it is always at your current position. So if you see a bullet coming at you, you know you just have to move anywhere except for where you currently are to dodge it. But of course, when so many bullets are coming at you, it becomes a big puzzle in your mind of, okay, so like where is actually the safe spot? And again, it will just take me a minute to probably get back into the groove of all this. And I also noticed that enemies like to shoot when they're like already off screen. Enemies can shoot in any direction, which adds to the difficulty. They can shoot, they will be like way below you, pretty much about to disappear from the screen, and they'll just fire one last shot to ruin your day. So these guys just kind of go back and forth a bit there, but they are always followed by 4 of these guys. So get rid of them. And this repeats 3 times. So we get rid of them, do this again, and then this will happen one more time. So on the last time, we can save one of these to hang around and kind of drag on the enemy spawning for as long as possible. This guy will gradually speed up, so we unfortunately can't do this forever, otherwise it would be kind of broken. But it seems like after about 30 seconds, he gets to a point where he's just too fast to dodge, and you want to kind of take him out. And the fact that they split like that, it took me a while to figure out the proper strategy to not get hit, but you hit them, and then you move down to the right as you do that, and you'll generally be able to dodge them. So these guys show up, and they just shoot at you like a million times. But you do a thing like that. These guys aren't too bad. Like, I've had a lot of really dumb deaths in this attempt so far. So we'll definitely have better ones coming up. This is the warm-up attempt. Area E, which is Area 5, I think. These H's that show up sometime are just good for, like, I think 4,000 points or something like that. So it's all about that point game. Again, points being 1-ups is good. But they seem to kind of stop after 500,000. Which disincentivizes you from getting more points after that. But, the more points, the better. Currently have 1 extra life up there, which, again, we should have way more at this point. And I'm sure we will on future attempts. But, yeah, that's Epsilon, everybody. There you go. But thank you, Fennec, for the happy birthday wishes. And that's right, Christian. But thank you so much for your happy birthday wishes as well. How did people even find out about that? I have no idea. As I don't usually make a big deal about it, but thank you, everyone. You were listening to a song. Can I repeat all that? Says True Seed. That was like a million things, although someday I'm gonna like write my freaking thesis on Star Force. I feel like I've played it enough and researched enough that... Like, I have not looked at what anyone else has ever done in Star Force. I have had so much fun with this game, kind of just playing it on my own, that I'm not aware of like what any other people have documented in regards to this game. I've just been doing it all on my own because, again, it's almost like doing your own like research project on a thing like this. I've had so much fun kind of figuring out the inner workings of this game and the enemy patterns and such. So like, here's another guy. This guy splits into like a bunch of squares, and eventually, you know, he'll just kind of chase you around until you take him out. But much like the diamond guys, after about 30 seconds he becomes too fast. But the nice thing about the square guy is that he doesn't explode. So it's easier to kind of just get rid of him when you're done with him. And again, you know, some enemy patterns are going to be more difficult than others. Like this one's not bad as long as you're ready for it. I find this guy sometimes glitches or something, and they'll come from the bottom. Okay, so remember, this enemy pattern means that we are about to get a power-up. We are just dodging currently. Oh, I did such a good job and got hit by the last one. That's such a me thing to do. But that's Star Force, everyone. Ha 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 ha. So again, I'm going to avoid that one. But sometimes, like, enemies will show up along with them, so you don't want that either. Okay, it was like, finally, we got the power-up. So these green blocks are funky, and it's not a good attempt, it looks like, to really talk much more about them. But someday I will explain what's up with the green arrow blocks. And yeah, that was not my best attempt. Got to Area Z, which I think is like Area 6. So if we can double our progress every time, we'll be doing really well. Coral Cola, Silver Surfer, who would ever play that game? You were amazing at Silver Surfer the other night. Everyone check out Coral Cola's Twitch channel. Thank you so much for stopping by the stream. Hope you're doing well. Like, you made it all the way to like the last world there. And you know, most people probably can't even say they've done that. So I think that was really impressive. And I'm sure you're like right on the verge of beating that. So yeah, definitely check Coral Cola's channel out. You want to see him beat Silver Surfer in the near future. Otherwise, alright, let's take this more seriously now. Am I using the advantage joystick? Absolutely not! I can't stand turbo. You have no control. It's like, okay, you're holding A and the shots are just firing, but what if they're not firing at the right time? No, I'm pressing, this is finger time all over the place here. Like I mentioned, it's index and middle finger used to press A and B alternatively because they both act as the normal shot button in this game, which is actually phenomenal. I really love that they do that here. I don't think I've really played any other shmups that you can say that about. Usually A and B do different things. A would be like the normal shot and B would be like a screen clearing bomb or something. But no, the fact that I can press A and B with two different fingers to kind of do a really quick shot like this is awesome. I really, really like this. So as you can see from those arrow blocks, your shots don't go through them. They take about 4 shots to destroy, but they do give you 2 points, as all of like the other blocks that you destroy do. There's a way you can get a lot of bonus points from these arrow blocks, and I don't usually do it with the earlier ones, but with that one that was like a column later, you can do it with. Alright, so with that, boss is showing up because we hit that 250 points, that FA threshold. Now the really bad thing, I mean it's a good and a bad thing, is that once you hit FA, like I mentioned, it keeps looping around again. It hits FF, back to 0, and then you're back to up to, you know, working your way back up to FA again. But if you hit FA, and you continue to roll that number around, and then you die, you have to get all the way back up to FA again before the boss will spawn again. So like, say I got to FA, the music changes so that the boss alpha is about to appear, but I died, I'd have to go all the way around back to FA again before alpha will show up again. So it's very dangerous once you hit that 250 points that, you know, you don't die before you beat the boss. Otherwise, you are replaying, like, pretty much an entire level's worth. But see, you don't get the first guy, and then you get this. Which one has my 1-up? There it is. Oh, God. Ugh. So yeah, you want those 1-ups. There's a, like, again, they seem pretty plentiful in the early stages of the game, but they become much rarer by the end. Or like, you know, by the point I've made it to. Like by the point I made it to, like you get we've seen a couple of the question mark things, and they become like hardly available as I seem to move on. So hopefully, you know, we can get we'll hang on to our 1-ups as long as possible. Right, here you go. And there's actually a strategy that I've come up with that takes place in this area right here, which I was kind of working on the last couple days, but I don't know if it's viable or not. Seems kind of cheap, but we'll see. If I don't have enough luck with playing the game the normal way, we'll see if it works. But we're just gonna play kind of normal for now. See, like you got this set of question marks again. There's the happy face. So add another 1-up to that stack up there. We got 5 now. And see, like I can just let this guy kind of go. And that delays when the next set of enemies is going to appear. Also get all those B's. So the way up the B's, you get the capital B's and the lowercase B's. And those determine how many bonus points you get at the end of beating a boss. Like here it will say, like, I guess we hit more small B's than the big B's or something. We get more of that. Oh, Cola, doing okay. Your PC's very sick. Oh, no. Oh, man, blue screens are scary. Hope that you can get that all worked out. So tough penalties for dying. It's just copying Fester's quest mechanics, Cola. So yeah, this game is very unforgiving when you die. Again, this power-up that we have right now, it lets us move a little bit faster, shoot a little bit faster. They appear very far and in between, and by the point I've gotten to, enemies are very, very fast. As I mentioned, you know, the enemy patterns are the same every time. They show up in the same order, but they gradually get more difficult. They gradually get faster, and they gradually shoot more at you. Like this guy, again, he shot 1 bullet, and he kind of just, you know, floats around the screen. Not that much of an issue. But when we see these enemies later on, you know, they will shoot a lot more and be a lot faster. But in this case, my strat is to kind of leave 1 remaining. He'll shoot at you once, and that's it. It's he's a sit and duck now, you know, until he eventually disappears from the screen. But yeah, so once you die, and like so you're 1.5 times faster when you have the powered up ship like we have right now. Oh, so leave that. So if we defeat that, it's like a full screen clear. But I'd rather just kind of leave it on screen since there's no enemies anyway. You know, nothing will show up until he very slowly floats down to the bottom. And you get these guys again who will come at you horizontally when they reach your vertical height. Something like that. And yeah, so it's just 24 stages of this. Get ready. Alright, so we can leave. So sometimes these guys are paired with other enemies, and sometimes they're not. And it all comes down to memorizing which ones are and which ones aren't. In this case, these guys will not have other enemies with them, so we can kind of just play tag with this guy for a little bit. Of course, having the faster ship helps with that, because it means we can get away from him for a little bit longer before he starts gaining on us. You know, just destroy some blocks for now. And that's probably enough. Again, it doesn't bother me if you miss a couple enemies, because again, they're worth less points than the blocks anyway. And there, that music has changed, which means that you get this like big rectangle of gray blocks, which kind of represents the, you know, the break in the level where it spawns the boss. And you'll notice that there's another big line of gray blocks coming up, which kind of represents where the level had been split, because the boss can spawn anywhere, as mentioned, depending on when you hit that, you know, FA 250 points. And like here's gonna, and see, like here's that, you know, the other big gray thing, which kind of, you can see how it kind of just awkwardly split, you know, what else was going on there. You know, the past RAM disk checks, sounds like a PSU issue, which is good news unless a faulty PSU. Yeah, definitely back up any files you can, Cola. Oh, you actually think it's the, oh no, SSD, that's not good. Well, I wish you all the best, Cola. Yeah, computer troubles aren't fun. I bought a new computer last year because I thought my other one was kind of starting to bite the dust, so I hear you on that. It sucks when that happens for sure. But I do try to, you know, get the longest life I can out of my electronics, still using my 10-year-old phone at this point. And you don't know how many times I'll, you know, try to download an app or something, and I'll be like, oh, it doesn't even work on your phone anymore. It's like, wow, nice of you to freaking, you know, keep old copies around for people who don't, you know, feel like buying a phone every 5 minutes. But that's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. Alright, so then remember, this enemy formation means that the power-up thing is about to show up. So the thing I usually try to do with these guys is stay in the middle. So when this starts flashing, you mash on it, and then you get 50,000 points. If you shoot it before it turns white, then you're actually adding health to it for each shot that you give it, which is not a great thing. Now, this is not great either. Put myself into a bad situation there. Thankfully, we got out of it just fine. Shot at all day, not so fine. So like these guys kind of, you know, jump up when they get to your horizontal position or your vertical position. Thing like that. These guys are a pain. You definitely want to defeat these guys as soon as they appear, or else they start doing something like that. Again, that was just bad playing. I shouldn't have taken a hit there. And that will boot us back a bit in terms of the background. Oh! And see how it looks like they're getting ready to leave the screen, but they, you know, just as a goodbye message, they'll shoot at you one last time just when you think you're safe. Okay, and that's going to spawn blocks. So 2 really bad deaths. And now we're stuck with the little ship until the power-up shows up again, which it just did. Which means it's going to be a while before we have the chance to get that speed back. Alright, that's Delta done. Is that the Death Star True Seed? Probably. Picturing those 80s brick phone for some reason. It's a Samsung S6. So, like, it's not that old. And honestly, I don't know. Modern phones, they're getting too big. I really like the size of my phone. I feel like I look at phones now that they have for sale. It's like, they're just massive. Like, what do you do with such a massive phone? And how does anyone even carry them around anymore? And like, there's a new iPad or something coming out, and it's like, it's the thinnest iPad ever. It's like, why do you want your iPad so thin? I'm just like an old technology grandpa, I guess. I don't get all the new trends. No, that was just really poor playing. Because I couldn't hit that freaking diamond for some reason. But again, we're gonna do better this time than we did last. As long as we improve every time, we'll have this done tonight. But alright, 3 extra lives. Remember, you get a 0, which is nice. We'll have another life coming up at 500,000. Assuming we can get there. And remember, we're just killing these blocks. 2 points apiece. Working our way up. Whoa, 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 whoa. I let that chase me for a little too long there. See, these are the worst. Like, when they start circling you. Like, sometimes they shoot you from the bottom, too, and sometimes they don't. Oh. See, it's like, don't even let them have their day, and you're good. So the background is like pieces that repeat, so you can kind of get used to where the blocks are going to be down there, where those hidden H's are. Alright, Epsilon. What did we get to last time? Z? Or Zeta, I think? I think we should easily pass that this time. Coca-Cola! Like, that's it. Like, I don't get how people carry those things around. S6 is 9 years old. There you go. Which is the point Apple considers it not only vintage, but obsolete. And the Apple freaking, like, my first ever phone I got for a birthday gift, hilariously enough. It was my birthday 2013, so oh my god, 11 years ago. Again, and it was the phone before my Samsung X6. Was an iPhone 4S? Was that the one? And it was good for like a year. And like, so when they got it for me, I think it was already, you know, a little bit outdated at that point. So here, I'm getting bonus points for just feeding so many of these green blocks in a row. It's so weird how those work, but I'll explain those maybe next time, assuming there's next time. So what was my story? My story was that, yeah, I got my iPhone 4S for my birthday 2013 as a gift, and it was already a little bit outdated by that point. And it worked well for like a year or so, and then just one day, it like slowed down like a freaking, like it hit a brick wall. And I was like, well, that sucks, and okay. And then, you know, it was so-so, but when I looked into my next phone, I got a Samsung, because I hated how you had to do everything through freaking iTunes, and, you know, just put music on it or whatever, take pictures on, like, you know, put pictures or PDFs on it or whatever. It was such a pain. I did not deal with those enemies correctly, and I somehow didn't pay for it. So next I went to a Samsung. Came out like a year or so later that Apple was doing that thing where they would slow down people's old phones to try and get them to buy new ones. It's like, that's probably exactly what happened to freaking mine. Except it bit them in the butt because I went to Samsung after that. So it's like, you know, I didn't have a good impression of, you know, Apple's phone. And it was all Apple's fault as a result of it. Yeah, see. All right, let me concentrate more on this barrage of enemies. Like, they're very aggressive, these ones. And usually I can kind of get down the pattern, but I need a few attempts. Like, okay, that was really bad. We'll get it, though, as we practice more. 50,000 points, don't mind if I do. And again, we're making progress with each attempt, and I can live with that. It's when we start going back that I'm not going to be happy. Galaxy S10e, which is the last small phone Samsung made. So the weird thing is Samsung eventually changed their model numbering to be like the year, right? So like the newest Samsung phone now is like the 24 or something, right? Because yeah, you know, back when I got it, the S6, but that was like 2014. Oh, there goes the power up. So we're back to E again. Why are we back to E? Because there's multiple Greek letters that start with the letter E for some reason. But that will be for the next attempt to worry about. I wasn't happy with that attempt anyway. I need to stop telling the stories and focus more on the game. But the stories are fun. Right, Fennec? I couldn't believe it. But I mean, I guess once I heard that news, I kind of could believe that was what had happened, because it was so weird how just like it slowed down so significantly all of a sudden. Like, I haven't really done anything that should have caused that. Plus, it was only 16 gigs, and of course, this is the point where like you couldn't. Maybe Apple's never really done the SD card thing. I know Samsung used to. I think the Samsung S5 was like the last one that had the removable SD cards, and unfortunately, I got the S6, which meant it didn't. But I think the S6 was like built a lot better and had a better camera and stuff, so you know, that's a trade-off that I guess I made. It only has 32 gigs of memory, but yeah, the iPhone at that time, it was still standard for like the standard model of iPhones to have only 16 freaking gigabytes of memory. It's like, what? So small. So, you know, the Samsung 32 gigabyte standard seemed huge by comparison. And of course, you know, it seems very small now. I definitely don't have enough space on it. Plus, I can't put my own SD card in. So that's one thing that I would, you know, benefit from should I decide to upgrade my phone someday. But yeah, phones, they're a thing. Alright, 1 up, 50,000 points. Boss time. iPhone 2 and an iPhone 8, nice. But yeah, cool. See, you kind of put a break in between your phone purchases there. Like, it's probably time for me to get a new phone, but like, I don't even know what I would get. And like, again, if I don't really need it, it's not a purchase I'm running out to make. But alright, level B. Let's show everyone how it's actually done this time. So there's the power-up, but we're gonna wait until it shows up the second time. Because if you collect it the first time, it doesn't show up the second time. Oh, there's the happy face. So we got that one up. And of course, the thing about a shmup is that like the longer you play it, like the more worn out your fingers get from all the button mashing, but we're gonna press on. I want to get a good few hours of gameplay in here and see if we can push things over the edge. So, I guess one thing I should mention as well, when it comes to rapid fire in this game. Maybe next time there's like a really good opportunity to do so. Okay, like here. Oh, that's right, I forgot that this one actually has other enemies spawn as well, and I paid for it dearly. So that's one of those ones I mentioned, where sometimes you can kind of just, you know, have that diamond tag you around forever, where other times the other enemies come and, you know, it just completely messes up my tag strategy there. So, and next time the boss is about to spawn, since no enemies will be coming, I will explain to you all about the rapid fire in this game. So yeah, there's that one up. Get that back. Like, you shouldn't die for like the first at least 5 levels, and I've done that before. It will just take some warming up. So this is how fast you shoot normally if you hold B, with just the normal ship, and this is how fast I can shoot if I mash A and B. So definitely a difference. That's awesome, Daniel. Yeah, there definitely are some phones out there that still come with like the SD slot. The Samsung ones unfortunately don't anymore. And I love how, you know, when Samsung was making fun of Apple for getting rid of the headphone jack, just to get rid of to get rid of it themselves, like a year later. Yeah, phones are funny. That's for sure. But alright, so this is like the nicest enemy. It just doesn't really do all that much. Why couldn't it always stay this easy? But that'd be no fun. And they always show up on the opposite half of the screen to the one that you're on. So like, because I was on the left, they spawn on the right. If I had been on the right, they would have spawned on the left. So they always kind of make you chase them. Instead of, you know, making it so that you can position yourself ahead of time. Like you can in some shmups if you really get the patterns down. That's the screen clear guy. Looks like these enemies aren't even that bad, so why you would need the screen clear along with them? Because it will always spawn with them. Again, like the enemy patterns are always the same, so it's really just memorizing them. Figuring out how to deal with things best. And I put myself into a bad situation there. And got shot. But okay. So this one should be fun. I really like this music that it plays right now. Unfortunately, once you get powered up, it just like loops the same like 5-second loop over and over again. That's not as good. So there's almost an incentive to not power up. But, I mean, hey, I'll take the speed if I can have it. There's a 1-up. So it's funny, more than my, you know, shooting fingers. This guy will disappear automatically if we get close enough to the boss. And he's gone. It's actually the left thumb that feels it, because it's just the, you know, wrenching in so many different directions to avoid bullets. Really does a number on it. But okie dokie. Level D. Not actually that far. Oh, shoot. Alright. I remember, following that enemy is always this guy. And then following this enemy is always the power-up. So that can kind of give you a bearing on where you are. That was lucky. So see, unfortunately, the loop that plays when you're powered up is not as nice as the non-powered up music. So get out of here. These guys suck if you let them get to the bottom of the screen like I just did. Because they shoot at you a lot. Oh, boss time. So this is how fast the powered up ship shoots. If you don't mash. If you just hold B, which is really nice. But you can still shoot faster if you mash. So that's what I do. Cool got the pixel. But it's big. You know, like Google's constant tracking. I mean, that's the thing, right? Maybe it's an illusion that the older phone doesn't have as much tracking baked in at this point, but maybe that's also a lie. Oh shoot, I did this wrong. So this one should be the one I can actually leave hanging around. There you go. So yeah, that those like gems and then the diamonds, that repeats 3 times. So on the third one, if you can get the guy following you around, it's fine. But before that, you're just gonna have trouble because like more stuff keeps spawning. Oh shoot. This is the first E, right? I think we've made it this far. Let's try and actually reach some. Again, if we can keep making more progress than the previous time, that's a good sign. Oh! So I tried to do the thing where if you destroy enough of those green blocks in a row, you'll get 80,000 bonus points, and all enemies that are on screen will disappear, and no more will spawn for a little while. So I was really kind of trying to pull that off, hoping I could get there soon enough. Oh, alright, we got the boss coming. But yeah, those green blocks are really weird, so... Alright. So it goes Zeta, and then it's like E again after, right? That's how far we've made it. I think. Nope. No bonus points for us this time. And it's also a really big pain when you have those green blocks in the middle, because again, you can't shoot through them. So if enemies are kind of showing up in the middle of the screen, there's nothing you can do about them. Sure. Like, I just need to be able to do that, but all the time. Alright, we'll take the power up now. I figured, when it's only 4 of them, it usually means there's something up. Like, more enemies are gonna come, so you can't do the tag thing. Like, this one we're probably okay. When it's so many of them, usually that means there's no follow-up enemies coming. And see, like, oh, does all those loops do a number on your hand? But yeah, okay, we got people talking about the stuff there. Oh, this is a really nice enemy formation because it just kind of hangs around and doesn't really do all that much you gotta worry about. So you just don't get hit by it, and you're good. Just kind of let it go by. Oh, and there's the boss spawning already. Alright, so boss Z, again, Zeta. Alright. That's 6, right? Level 6. A quarter of the way there. Oh, so I think it's our first time seeing these raining enemies. When they start showing up, you just want to hide off to the side. Don't put yourself in the middle. where they can easily hit you. Wow, no. See how you just can't let those guys spawn, or they start going nuts. I think more raining enemies are gonna come, maybe. Yep, here's those raining ones. So just hide off to the side. I wasn't off to the side enough. I usually kind of try to hang out a little bit so I can get some points, but no, it's just best to not be anywhere near the center when those guys are spawning. Like, just hide over here, you should be safe. So see, these enemies, remember this guy from before? Those guys weren't so bad last time, but now they're much faster. And they shoot more too. But remember, they always shoot where you're pointing. If you remember that enemies will only shoot at your exact current location, you don't have much to worry about as long as you have the ability to move somewhere else. And remember, when these enemies are coming, it means that the next thing to spawn will be that big 50,000 point enemy. And then following that will be the power-up. So you want to survive past these. And see, I'm getting back into the groove. I can feel it a little bit. Oh no, I think I just heard the the boss spawning music. Alright, good. Because I didn't loop around back to 0. So we're good. Ada. First time seeing this guy. So again, progress. We're making progress. Just that there's a lot more depth to it than you would think at first. There's a lot of strategy in, how should you deal with the enemy formations? Should you just kind of let them hang while you deal with the blocks? Should you defeat enemies as soon as you possibly can? It feels really good to play. Like, there's a lot that I like about this shmup. I think 1943 is my favorite NES shmup. This probably ranks second at this point. I've really been enjoying this. And it just really comes down to you and your ability to play shmups. There's not too many bells and whistles, but honestly, I think that's fine. And again, just the fact that it's, you can treat it... Like, it's just, the whole thing's been a journey. The whole figuring out how the game works is, like, part of the game itself, really. Like, it's all part of the adventure here. It's not just what you see on screen right now. And I've enjoyed every second of it, but it's tough. But alright, level T, everybody, finally. Some progress here. So remember, this happens 3 times. And here comes the 3rd time. So, like, see? Like, you get to know it, and it's fun. And now I can let this one kind of chase me around. Oh. Alright, boss time. That's how you feel about Lot Lot. Someday I need to dive into Lot Lot. Figure out the inner strategy of Lot Lot. But alright, Theta is done. Take that, Greek alphabet. But I'm not doing so well with lives, unfortunately. And there's no more lives that I've seen come from points, so... Oh god. Why didn't I get, like, any of those? See how they come from the bottom sometimes if you're, like, in the upper half of the screen? It's very strange. So you gotta be really careful about that. Ooh, there's all those guys. Like, see how fast they start coming? Like, no! Get lost! Oh, one up! Where's my one up? Yeah! Alright. Look how much that guy freaking shoots at you. Now imagine if I had accidentally left more than just one. Now is this only going to be diamonds? It doesn't seem like anything else is spawning. Okay, so I can mess around with this guy for a bit. Should probably get rid of him. Don't push my luck. But oh, doing those circles is a number on my on your palm. Your favorite is the Guardian Legend, Fennec. All right, the Guardian Legend is a great one. I guess I didn't consider it as part of that because it's not only a shmup, as you've alluded to there. Also has that, you know, Zelda exploration styled as well, which is cool. That was a game I played way back and really had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, that's a fun one. All the different power-ups you get that can be used in like both the Zelda-styled areas and, you know, the shmup sections is so cool. Oh, I didn't get the one up from that. No. Yeah, actually, this is interesting. I wonder if my strategy would work here. Of course, I didn't die, so we'll never know. What level is this? I? Because there's a strategy I devised that I've tried earlier on to get an upper hand, but maybe this section. If I get back to this again, I'll pay more attention to the layout of those two one-ups, and we'll see what happens. Afflicted! I have not played that one yet. Of course, it's a little later in the alphabet there. I've heard good things, though. I've heard good things. I know it's a Sunsoft one, right? Or no, it was Hudson Soft, I think. One of those two. But yes, that'll be a fun one to play. And welcome, Afflicted. Great to see you. Sorry, again, I haven't been playing too much NES recently. But hopefully you're enjoying the stream tonight. And wow, look at these guys. They're just my favorite enemy, shooting at me like 40 times like that. Look at this. Okay. Shoot! Like, you do so well, and they never stop. They just never stop. And now I don't have the speed, which makes it a lot easier to, you know, get rid of them before they really have a chance to bombard you with bullets. Like, oh my god. And they just keep on coming. I thought there's even, like, faster ones, too. And they're still coming. Alright, well, we made good progress. We made it to K this time, everybody. Interesting. Coca-Cola. Like, that, there was some good dodge in there, and then also some really poor dodge in there. Can't just have all good, I guess. You gotta, you know, balance is like my favorite word, so one of them anyway. So there's always gotta be balance, the good and the bad. But that takes us back to Area A, everyone. Which again, if we can make progress every time, you know, that's a good thing. And I think I'm getting better with remembering, you know, the enemy patterns and such. Ooh. Okay. There you go. Tealgamemaster! Good evening! Hope you're doing well. Good morning over where you are there. I love shmups. But this one's been tough. So I'm hoping we can beat it tonight. But thanks for stopping by. Coca-Cola! So, again, remembering that I don't consider it the next day until I go to bed. Or until it hits 6 a.m. So it was my birthday. But we're going to pretend it's still my birthday. But thank you, Coca-Cola. There's my one. Actually, that might have been the one where I was supposed to keep one around, though maybe not. There should be a one-up thing coming up right here. The last one. There we go. Again, at least the bosses are easy. It's the same thing every freaking time. Andrew was the kid of the wizard. Like, literally, he was that same kid. How did he know where the... Like, how did they know where the whistle was in Mario 3 before Mario 3 was even out? No one ever asks that. Yeah, like, it was an inside job. Of course, in the movie, the girl is calling, like, the Nintendo hotline every 5 minutes to get info on Nintendo games. And I think Mario 3 came out on the Play Choice 10 before it was a cart, right? But, like, the way it's revealed in the wizard implies that it has just, like, never been seen before. So you wouldn't think that she would have gotten any hints on Mario 3, but maybe that's, like, the explanation there. The Wizard's a fun movie. Like, if you just love old video games and, like, Nintendo of that era, like, you have to watch The Wizard. Don't listen to what anyone says. Is it like the perfect movie? No. And if you don't like Nintendo, you're probably not going to care for it at all. But as as someone who grew up with Nintendo, like, you will absolutely love the freaking Wizard. Oh, well, that was almost really dumb. Yeah, so here's what I mean about that song that repeats like every 5 seconds. Only when you're powered up, though. Like, the non-powered up music is so good. And then you get, like, this friggin' loop. Okay. Hello, David Ray. Welcome. Yeah, it was kind of a spur of the moment sort of thing. Thanks for stopping by, though. You enjoyed The Wizard too, Afflicted, right? I made it to Kappa, Coral Cola. Yeah, on the Discord server, I posted the Greek alphabet. It does seem to go in order, so you can keep track according to that. But I love Kappa. It's like, yeah. There you go. Thank you, Coral Cola, yeah, for the happy birthday wishes there. Jack up your parents' phone bill calling that 1-900 Nintendo helpline, right? But yes, it is David Ray. Thank you. All right, D. Here we go. So remember, in order to get the boss to spawn, it's not about distance traveled, it's about how many points you accumulate. But not the points you see at the top of the screen, it's another value that's only... it's hidden from sight. You need 250 of these, let's call them like clear points. Boss points, clear points, whatever you want, to get the boss to spawn. And then yeah, once you've done that, you have to fight the boss. You get 1 point for every enemy defeated, but 2 points for every block destroyed. So it makes more sense to destroy blocks than worry too much about enemies. And the next group of enemies doesn't appear until like the previous one is completely gone from the screen. So sometimes if you can like delay an enemy from disappearing, that gives you more chance to just go defeat as many blocks as you can. So that's my strat. If you ever see me like leaving an enemy intentionally, that's what I'm thinking. So the instant that music starts playing, no more enemies spawn, and it will pick up right where it left off. You'll see that exact same type of enemy that just was appearing and then stopped abruptly. Come back the next time enemies appear. So alright, 4 down. 20 to go. Which means we should be getting ready for it. Like, there they are. Oh, got this formation. Oh. No. I tried. No, I just can't. I want to get the bonus points from those blocks, but you need to have like a really good enemy formation to do it. That doesn't cause you to move. So Walt has been enjoying the Paper Mario remake. That's been fun. That's been dividing my attention a little bit between this game instead of just like practicing this nonstop. It's been like this and then Paper Mario, which probably isn't so good for the practicing, but I think we're doing okay. All right, so see, that's what I'm talking about. I don't think we've died, and that's 5 levels down, so you shouldn't be dying like anywhere near the beginning of the game, or just throw that console out the window immediately. So, you can only go so high on the screen. Like, I'm going to show you that's the max height right now. Which makes it a little weird sometimes when you're trying to dodge. Like, you think, oh, I can go higher than that. Because some games, you can just, like, go right into the HUD at the top. No problem. But no, this game really restricts your movement more than you might expect. Oh, wow, it's still split one more time. Okay, well, let's get rid of those. Alright, so this means that, again, that big enemy's coming. So at least, if we die, we could get a new power-up, but we didn't actually die. 7 lives. Which is, like, some of the most you'll ever see in this game. And there's the boss. All right, Zeta. And you go up, and you go down, and it's the same thing every dang time. Watch, there's gonna be some massive, like, truly humongous final boss or something, and we're gonna get wrecked by it. Yeah, Afflicted. Yeah, so that's and I've been playing Paper Mario, but also I've been practicing this for like a good almost 2 weeks now. But again, it's been off and on. It hasn't been like some games where I practice it like non-stop. Been busy with things, been playing some Paper Mario, practicing this when I can, but this is a game that requires like constant practice. But I'm really hoping that maybe tonight we'll be able to pick up the pace and get at least very close to it, if not actually beat it. Because I really want to move on to something else. But at the same time, I'm also really enjoying this, so it's like not that big a deal. And yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying the stream. Again, it's again, there's not I've talked about a lot. I've talked about a lot of the inner game mechanics. Feel free to ask questions if there's anything else you want me to go over again. But like, it seems so basic, and yet there's really a lot of depth to this game, which I love. But otherwise, yeah, it's a shmup, and I think most people understand how those work. So any minute the raining enemies should come. I don't think we've seen them yet. Yeah, these guys, exactly. Right on cue. Boss. All right. Ada. So the funny thing about that afflicted is it's only my left thumb using the D-pad. I'm pressing A and B because that's the cool thing I like about this game, is that both A and B are just your normal shot. I mean, at the same time, I kind of wish one of them was like a screen clear or something if you needed it. But that's all you get in this game, is just your normal weapon. Like, not even like a three-way. If this game had like an unlockable, power-up three-way shot, oh, would that change so much. But no, it's just you and this one basic shot the whole game. But the nice thing I like is that both A and B do it. Now I'm really toast because I lost my power up there. But yeah, both A and B shoot. So I use my index finger and my middle finger to get maximum firepower. While one's kind of receding from the button, the other one's pressing down on it, and I can shoot really fast that way. Alright, so remember, after these guys, we'll get another power-up. But we need to survive these guys first. And I like this music more than the power-up music, so at least there's that. Like, they start really slow, and then the fast ones start coming. I remember this. And the good thing is that, when you have the faster ship... Oh, wait, they didn't come. There you go, okay. Now, assuming I don't have a big flub, we should get powered back up here. Oh. Oh, one up, one up, one up. Oh, I didn't get the one up, no! Freaking, like, random question mark thing. Oh, boss coming. True Seed, I have not. Maybe I should. What's that? Cool. It makes sense to play it like that, because... Yeah, exactly, cool. And Surfer also has, like, the F power-ups, like, you do more damage and stuff. I guess the good thing about this game is everything seems to die in, like, pretty much one hit. So, I mean, at least there's that. Oh, I kind of shot him before he even spawned, so it surprised me. Okay. I'm gonna just hang tight with this guy for a bit. Like, see, right now there's not even any blocks to break. And, that's 2 clear points that we could be getting for each of those. So, makes sense to just kind of hang tight with this guy. Let the screen scroll. Oh god. Oh, again, another missed one-up opportunity. What is there? 8 blocks, right? So... So that means we could have, like, 8 lives right now. Wow. But we'll have to live with what we got. Oh, God, no. Oh, no. Oh, I saw the diamonds, and I'm like, okay, hopefully nothing else spawns while I deal with these. And no, other enemies had plans. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, when enemy combos start spawning together is when things get tough. Because it's like, okay, I know how to deal with one of you, but 2 of you at once is like, please no. Can this one just be the diamonds? It looks kind of like it. Okay. Now see, like, well, nothing's happening here. It's like, let's just let that screen scroll. We're at I, right? So was that like iota we saw? That was a lot to deal with at once. Okay. You're gonna really know your Greek alphabet by the end of this. In case it ever comes up on Jeopardy or something. Yeah, so it's not a, it's, what's it called? So this is how fast you shoot with the normal ship if you just hold the button down. Like that. You can shoot a lot faster by just holding the button if you have the powered up ship, but it's still not as fast as if you just mash the buttons. Oh, this guy. Ooh. Alright, we're back to K, everybody, so if we can beat this level, you know, the progress is, continuing. And I love this music, so like I could listen to this for a while. Get out of the way. So just hide to the side where those things can't hurt you. You really want to get these guys before they have a chance to take over the screen. Yeah, when they start shooting you from behind, that's when things get mean. And that was the problem with S.C.A.T, right? Was like all of the enemies and stuff that would spawn from behind. This is a part of the map I don't think we've seen on stream yet. So let's keep this up. Oh, remember these enemies mean that the power-up's coming. I think this is as far as we made it last time. Yeah, then they start getting too fast. It's like, what? What? Yeah, the faster ship obviously helps. I'm not doing the best job dodging though either. Like, frickin', what was that? What was that? Like, this one enemy formation just never ends. Oh, the boss is coming, the boss is coming, just go away! Alright, well at the very least we're gonna beat Kappa this time, assuming I don't really screw the same boss pattern up that we fight every time. Alright, here we go. Up, down. There you go. Hello, Super Tom brother! No problem, hope everything's been well. Had to learn Greek alphabet in high school. Physics and math and all. Like, I mean, there was a little bit of the Greek alphabet involved there, but I don't remember having to learn, like, the whole thing. All I know is if this game goes through the entire Greek alphabet, I feel really bad for you, Coca-Cola. It is! It's the whole 24 of them! Well, what's L? Lambda, right? Let me pull up my graphic here. How far am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's only 9. I've made it to O. O is my record. But that was a couple days ago now. So I'm working on getting back to where I was. And then we'll look to, you know, surpass that as well. Yeah, not even at level 10 yet. With no extra lives. Like, this enemy formation, just go away! I'm so sick of these enemies. Thank you. So the graphics on the block change as you beat bosses. It's not about distance travel. let's see how well we can do with the faster ship. Remember, when those guys are coming down, just hide to the side. Because it seems like no matter how fast you shoot, they will find the gap when there's like not a bullet directly in front of you and hit you right on. You know, let's get some points this way. Like, again, there's nothing you could do about that if you were in the middle. You are just a sitting freaking duck. So it always scares me that, you know, they're going to spawn again. So I kind of hide off to the side of the screen to hopefully be able to get away from them. Oh, I got it. Yeah, if I had gotten those other happy faces, we would still have a few more lives. Gotta deal with what we have now, though, I guess. Alright. Nice and easy that time, actually. It's Half-Life time, everybody! Jeopardy has always had pop culture, but there's just a lot more pop culture now than there used to be in good old Jeopardy. Someday we're gonna have a what's it called? A game show game night. Even though, you know, I've beat some of the Jeopardies, I always talk about how there's 4 Wheel of Fortune and 4 Jeopardy games on the NES. But the funny thing is that there's one of each of those I haven't beat yet. Super Jeopardy is the Jeopardy one I haven't beat, because it comes up in the S section. And I've never played through an entire game, I don't think, of the Wheel of Fortune with Vanna White edition on the NES, where I have played the normal edition, the family edition, and the junior edition. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Push, 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 push! Oh, I got too excited about the potential for a 1-up. And went right into that freaking bullet. There was no reason for that. It's always the worst in the game when you lose a life to get a life. Why are they so slow all of a sudden? I mean, I'll take it, I guess. I mean, I guess to make up for the fact that they're slow, there's like 4 million of them. Oh, more 1-ups! Actually, that might be the same 1-up. Alright, we made it to M this time, everybody. It's a good length to have made it. You'll be there for game show night, Crocola. Yeah, nothing confirmed on that yet. But like when I hit Wheel of Fortune, I do plan to play like all of them in one night. I'm sure we'll do fun stuff like that. Yeah, NES has quite a few game show based games. Classic Concentration was an interesting one. I had never really heard about it. It was only on the air for like a few years. And the NES game apparently came out like a month or something before the show was canceled. So I can't imagine that did well for sales. But it always seemed like a pretty common NES game, so I guess they must have produced a bunch of them still. And they just kind of sat in the warehouse or whatever. But okay. We made progress this time to M, everybody. Level M. Good old Mew. Or Moo or whatever. But again, lots of potential for my rebirth strategy, which I have not gone into extreme detail regarding yet. I'm curious if there's a spot where we could get a 1-up profit. And anyone who watched my Bart Simpson meets Radioactive Active Man stream will know all about that. The question is, how experimental do we want to be? is the tricky part. Yeah! Boss spawn before we got the power up and all that. There we go. Jeopardy and Feud, it had the longest run of any NES game show. Yeah, Family Feud on NES. is a tough one because you have to win 5 games in a row to like get the ending. You know, that would have been just like on TV where you win 5 games in a row, you get the car or whatever, they kick you off. So that was a little rough, but eventually it gets to the point where it's like, oh, thank goodness, I've seen this question before. Because you just friggin' play it so much. Oh, I wasn't supposed to get that. I was supposed to wait for it to show up one more time. Where's my 1-up? Where's my 1-up? There it is. Oh, in the nick of time there. It's a good thing I like shmups, though. And then I've mentioned, I'm shocked how many shmups start with the letter S. Again, feel free to read the description on YouTube for a list of all the ones I've played so far. And I look over and it's like Scramble is still coming up. Star Soldier is coming up. Now that was a dumb death. Last time we didn't die until level... I don't know, like level 6 or something. So that was a really bad death to take. But we do have a 1-up coming up on the right here, assuming we can get it. There it is. And that's a boss, okay. You played this game before, has it become expensive like other shoot-em-ups? So there's actually a nice chunk of NES shoot-em-ups that seem to still be decently priced. I believe Star Force is still a pretty inexpensive game. I guess I haven't mentioned yet, it's made by Tecmo, who also made Ninja Gaiden. So you can literally call this like the Ninja Gaiden of NES shoot-em-ups if you want. There you go. Oh, and also, on the Famicom, never got it in the West here, there is Super Star Force. So, you know, look forward to that. I'm wondering if it's one of those games where it's like easier. You know, the sequel's easier than the original. Seems like the longer the NES's life went on, you know, the easier games kind of got, offering more continues and stuff. Well, yeah, no continues in this game, of course. But yeah, Super Star Force. And the funny thing about Super Star Force is that in the back of the English instruction manual for this game, it actually advertises Super Star Force is coming soon. But I don't know if they just, like, didn't sell enough of this or what. I mean, how many people are going to buy this? Like, you can't even beat it. But I mean, I guess Ninja Gaiden had like, 3 games in the West. And that was pretty much, tough as well. But yeah, Star Force is a funny one. Like, you would never need to buy a Star Force 2 because you can't even make it to the end of the first one. But like I said, I'm having fun, and we're getting there. Oh, they were not as high up as I thought they were. Yeah, this might not be as good as our last run, which is concerning. Because that would mean that we're then getting worse. But, you know, one bad run isn't the end of the world. Fingers crossed. That means we might get a little, like I said, a little more experimental this run. Assuming we get far enough to do something that's on my mind. What level was it, though? I said there was a certain level where I wanted to remember to try something. I think it was around that point. So if I get back there, we will. Cola. So many shmups on the NES, this doesn't seem to distinguish itself compared to the others, especially like 1942, and The Guardian Legend. I love 1943. 1943 is so great. Yes, this game does kind of give your typical space shoot 'em up vibe. Even the unlicensed companies loved getting their hands in on those, because I guess a shmup's kind of easy to make, right? Just look at Action 52. Like how much of that is all shmups? Or I really need to get rid of some of you. Ugh. I usually don't let them get so piled up. What did I do this time so wrong? Oh, I was sure I was dead. All right, remember, if we can get past these guys, it's a power-up for us. All right. Oh. Remember, if you pass the power-up once, it does come back. Yeah, those dumb arrow blocks got in the way. And they completely messed up the, you know, I was destroying those enemies, and then I wasn't, and then they kind of overpowered me there. Which, again, they were almost doing there. Because it's funny, you know, the enemies that you think you're pretty good at dealing with, but then they combine them with other enemies, and it's like, nope. Astafu, welcome! Great to see you, hope you've been well. Max Howard, happy birthday, thank you! Am I gonna go to Target? Oh wait, never mind. So I had dinner tonight at a restaurant that has burgers that I like. I think it's like a Canadian-only chain, but it made me think about how a chain I really like in the US that we don't have here is Red Robin. Really great for burgers. They usually have like a bottomless fries thing going on, so who doesn't love that? And their mascot looks a lot like Kazooie, which I've always thought, which is kind of funny. But hello, all these shooters can have some grating sound effects. Astafu. Overall, I feel like this is one that doesn't sound too horribly, but I understand well, everyone's gonna feel differently about that. Again, if you want bad, play Galactic. What is it here? Wow, way back up there on the shelf. I can't believe how long ago I played that. I think it's Galactic Crusader. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Galactic Crusader was Color Dreams' attempt at a shmup. A space shmup. And that one was not the best. And it followed many of the similar patterns as this did, because that's just kind of what shmups did, I guess. It's the same enemies that show up every time, so it just came down to memorization. And that was how I eventually beat that one. Knowing what patterns would show up, which patterns would drop, which power-ups. Which was a big thing in that game, getting yourself powered up with the right stuff. Where, yeah, this game, the power-ups are really sparse. So you just really got to get good at, like, the most basic shmup techniques. Because there's not too much to help you. No bombs, no screen-clearing bombs, no three-way shot. It's just the basics. Oh. Almost. Oh, I did it! Yes! Alright. So there's a really weird thing where if you destroy enough green blocks in a row without hitting anything else but like the same green block that you're currently working on until you destroy it, eventually you get 80,000 points, and if you just keep doing that, you just keep getting 80,000. And enemies don't spawn while you're getting that bonus, which is really nice. And that's the best thing you can do when you get that big, long row of them down the center. But depending on the enemy formation you're dealing with at the time, you can't always stay still long enough to do it. So, it's kind of pot luck. What Bible game did they convert it into, right? No, it was one of the, it never came out as a wisdom tree equivalent. But I hear ya. Really, Christian? So I have photos from the last time I was there, like sometime pre-2020, where they had like, the plastic statue of him at the door, like life-size. And it looks so much like Kazooie, it's not funny. But yeah, I'm not sponsored by Red Robin. I'm just talking about how much I like it. But if Red Robin wants to sponsor me, I'm open to offers. Alright, we'll play tag with this guy for a little bit. Do I dare try to read the chat while I'm doing this? That sounds like a really bad idea. Oh, right, this means that the power-up's coming. After we do some ridiculous dodging. Oh, so close. But we're getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. Gotta get into like shmup mode. You gotta, you know, bring out your ability to slow down time when you got all the bullets coming at you. Gotta channel your inner who knows what. Inner slow down time guy. All right. Now you're hungry, Coca-Cola. There you go. Super Time Brother, Paper Mario TT by D on launch day. You didn't need a pre-order. So far you're up to Key Hall Key. Nice! I'm just got the Twilight Town on my way to Creepy Steeple. Been really having fun with it. And you know, I do all the extra stuff at every chance I get, all the help center stuff, and doing the whole shebang. But yeah, it's been a great game. Soundtrack's really good. The soundtrack's like the one thing that's really noticeably different if you've played the original a lot. Where otherwise, there hasn't been like too much other new stuff, but the fact that there's not new battle themes, but like the remix of the battle theme varies depending on where in the map you are when it plays. Like there's a castle version of it, or like a forest version of it. So it's really neat in that way. I really, really like that. Because I always really liked Thousand Year Door's battle theme. So you get to hear some really cool remixes of that. Official remixes is really nice. But gameplay-wise, it's like the same thing as the GameCube one, if you're familiar with that. Again, I've talked about... I think I said 2012 incorrectly a couple streams ago, but it was 2013, excuse me, the last time that I beat Thousand Year Door. So, you know, 11 years later, it's a good time for a replay, I think. Okie dokie, here we go. Oh, get out of the way when those guys start spawning. Either side typically does the trick. Alright. E! Which E is this again? Eta, right? There you go. Epsilon's the first E. And then Eta, and then Theta, I think. I remember when we had Carl's Jr. in Canada for like a brief while, and then it left. U.S. companies just cannot survive in Canada. Don't bother trying. Target met the same fate. But I like Hardee's in the U.S. In the U.S., it's like Hardee's in the East, but like Carl's Jr. in the West for some reason. But, you know, they were always good. I like a good burger, if you can't tell. I like my hamburgers. Alright, so we don't usually get to these guys with the powered-up ship, which is really nice, because it gives us a chance to, like, clear out as many as we can before they get too low. But I think this is when it gets mixed in with faster ones, too. So I'm ready for that. Okay, no, maybe not. Maybe it's the next time they show up. There you go. We're almost up to 1,000,000 points, which again, points don't matter if I'm not getting alive from them anymore anyway, but that might be a first in terms of this stream. Not a first in terms of like if I've ever done it. Oh, hey everyone, how are you doing? There's my one-up. And there's the boss. Alright. Whew. Sad part is that we're nowhere near the end. Hardee's makes good burgers. Yes, Hardee's east of Mississippi River, Carl's Jr. Bus stuff. Like, that's so weird. I remember I read, or maybe I watched the video at one point. There's like a reason for that. But it was a while ago. Sears, not C2. Are there still a few? No, Sears is completely done. Sears has been gone from Canada probably since like 2019-ish. But yeah, unfortunately, it's sad because they were such a big store we used to shop at back in the day. I basically live south of the US border. It's true, yeah, where I am, it's pretty much south. From what you've been told, McDonald's has done well in Canada, probably due to being... I don't know if that's the reason, Super Tom Brother. I think they were just like one of the big... You know, the first to do something always has the advantage, and they were kind of one of the big first burger chains. So naturally they caught on. But yeah, Sears, I think they're getting ready in the US to kind of disappear now too, right? I know there's only a few left. Going the same way they did here in Canada. No, there was no reason for that. I panic when the splitting guys show up. There's all the Sears talks getting to me, I guess. Now this should be the one we can kind of just have some fun with for a bit, so let's do that. What did we make it to? We made it to level M, right? Moo? What's after I? Is it L for Lambda again? Let's hope we can make it back there at least. Oh, please give me some of that. No! I would have loved the one up. Actually, that gets me wondering. Where's the next one up? Isn't it spawned soon? Nah. Actually, so this is really good. If it took us back a bit, we might be able to get that one up now. Making our loss negligible. Oh, but that's a tough ask. Oh! Astafu with the $10 super chat. Thank you! Did not realize it was your birthday. Oh, that's really kind of you, Astafu. Hope it was enjoyable. It was very nice, thanks. Here's some free internet monies. Must admit, you do love Red Robin, but nowadays you go to Chili's usually. They Another chain you don't really see in Canada. You guys have like, I mean, it makes sense, I guess the US would have like the best food selection in the world in terms of restaurants. You know, restaurant chain variety. I mean, obviously people would debate if it's like actually the best food or not at those restaurants. But I've always enjoyed my time going to restaurants down in the US. I've been to Chili's. I think we have like a small number of Applebee's up here. But yeah, Chili's I've been to a couple times when I've been down there. Unfortunately not here though. Don't do this to me. But thank you so much, Astafu. I really appreciate that. And it really means a lot to always see you in the chat, and hope you've been enjoying the stream tonight. Hey! There you go. So where were those one-ups? They gotta be somewhere. I'm pretty sure I was sent back, so they should come again at some point. Oh no. Not these freaking guys. No, I guess I didn't go back to where the one-up was. Weird. Alright, well... Jacob, Chili's is great. Yeah, right? Yeah, you guys have lots of good restaurants. Star Force 2 is exclusive on Famicom, Jared. Welcome, Jared. Yeah, so it was called Super Star Force of all things. Oh, Kappa. We haven't even done freaking Kappa yet. Christian, you like hamburgers and pizza? It's like my too, man. I'm so freaking stereotypical. Chase is actually in financial trouble. Red Lobster as well. We actually do have Red Lobster here in Canada. And there's one here. My grandparents love it. But no, it's probably gonna disappear now with recent news, I guess. Super Tom Brother, thank you. Happy birthday. Oh, no, it's definitely not necessary, everyone. Just really appreciate you all watching and hope you're having a good time. The delay is fun, Astafu. I'm so sorry. I don't get the delay. I really don't. I have no clue why. And I even emailed them about it, and they're like, it's fine. I'm like, okay. But thank you for your understanding. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I would have loved to have got some bonus points from that middle there. Again, we're over 1 million now. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to really mean anything. Like, if you could get, like, an extra life for 1 million, that'd be nice. But I don't even think it did that. Yeah, it's kind of floating in the abyss here. Waiting for more stuff to show up. Alright. Oh. Oh! Changed my focus to the top of the screen to see the bullets coming at me. Didn't even realize I was going to run to the side of that one. Alright. Well, that's the point I didn't want to be at, where we had a worse run than our previous one. But, okay. We're learning. We'll just take a break for a minute here. One funny thing about Star Force is that it has the most basic title screen. You'll never get a demo. There's no music. It will just sit on this screen until you dive back in, which kind of makes it interesting in a way. We're missing the wahoo when he gets the shine Christian. Oh, maybe we should see if we can get that in there. So many restaurants radically changed their menu. Yeah, we had what's it called? A buffet chain here I liked. And they all closed in 2020 and did not reopen, which was unfortunate. Yeah, lots of stuff got messed up for sure. And it's funny, we're playing a game with all the Greek letters and you bring that up. What was was this the first NES Tecmo game, asks Coral Cola. That's a great question. I unfortunately can't give you confirmation, but it was early enough that Tecmo used to have this promotion where all of their earliest games included like a part of the manual you could cut out, and if you sent in like 5 of them, you got a Tecmo watch, like a wristwatch. And this was one of those games. Ninja Gaiden was one of them. What other ones? Like maybe Tecmo Baseball and stuff. They're all listed in the manual, but yeah, so it was early enough that it was one of those. Oh, hopefully nothing's complaining. No, it's some other thing. I always worry when I hear that sound effect that OBS has just crashed. I haven't been to a restaurant. Fair enough, Trucy. Fair enough. But yeah, cool. So I've always thought that the Tecmo watch is interesting. Wonder how many of those there are floating around out there. But this time is definitely going to be a good run. I think we've learned a lot, so let's put it to use. I have no idea how long like a full run takes. And that's the thing, like it's a marathon, this game. It's just like non-stop for like a good who knows how long. Alright, the boss. One out of 24. Thank goodness the Greek alphabet's not any longer. True Seed. So when Zellers closed down in Canada, people will know that my collection contains various video game cabinets bought from the Canadian retail chain Zellers when they shut down. And, when the stores were all closing, they were selling the stuff out of the kitchen as well, and, you could kind of just do whatever you wanted in the stores pretty much at that point. No one cared. So I went back into, where they were selling all the stuff off in the kitchen, and my God, was it disgusting back there. And I mean, those kitchens were like still open until, Zellers pretty much shut down, so, people still would have been buying food cooked back there, until like the very end. And yeah, pretty scary stuff. So I can only imagine what some kitchens of places I've eaten probably look like. It's definitely an out of sight, out of mind sort of situation, right? It just, I've had people tell me that they've worked in like food inspection jobs too, and that like, the food inspections were very rigorous. I think I was cutting up New York once. I was like, oh man, every restaurant in New York gets an A, but how can they really all get an A? Except there was this one pizza restaurant that I ate at the first time I was at New York, and I was looking forward to going back to it the second time I went to New York, and it was like the only restaurant I saw in my entire trip that had a freaking B ranking. So I was like, all right, if everything else has an A and this one has a B, it must be really freaking bad. So I never ended up going back to it, unfortunately. But yeah, it's like, who knows? Who knows what's going on? Then you get the old hilarious comedy show joke about how everyone just like slipping that food inspector the bills or whatever. It's like, who knows? Again, out of sight, out of mind, I guess. All right, beta. Attack the beta target, everybody. Just me before I get into it on Twitter. I don't have Twitter. If I can't glare at the person making it, you don't eat it, Trucy. Let me see here. Did Canada have Kmart? Oh, yes. Kmart used to be a very popular store amongst our family. Used to be the biggest thing in the US until Walmart killed it. Honestly, you're surprised Target still exists here. Yeah, we used to love, my parents used to do all their shopping at Kmart before Walmart showed up and kind of destroyed that, as you mentioned. Yeah, it used to be the place to go. Like, it's funny, all these stores that used to be like the thing just not surviving anymore. And like, look at Sears. Sears not existing anymore is the dumbest thing. They had the catalog and all of that down to a science, way before like Amazon or anything like that. Like, there's no reason that once the internet showed up, the first thing they did was like put their catalog online, and then boom, suddenly instead of Amazon, Sears is like the biggest thing still. But they didn't do that. And then they faded into obscurity, and look where they are now. What does the US still have, like 9 Sears left, and that's it? Instead of like the 900 there once was? And of course, Canada, again, we have 0 Sears left, after they used to be all over the place as well. But yeah, Kmart was another one. There's so many chains have kind of drifted away. And it's funny, again, it's another thing, like I mentioned, going to Red Robin in the US. If I was on a family trip or something, we'd see a Kmart, we'd still go in there, for like the nostalgia's sake. But much like Zellers, they kind of, let themselves go as time went on, and they weren't as clean anymore and all that. And yeah, now Walmart doesn't have any competition, so they're kind of the same. In the US, you love Target. Yeah, Targets are always kind of neat to check out whenever I'm down there. In the US, Target really tries to look more high-end. Yeah, exactly. You definitely get that impression, yes. Some Walmarts here can look pretty bad. Lots of unstocked shelves and all that. I hear ya. Speaking of dead realtors, did you guys have Radio Shack in Circuit City? Yeah, there you go. Another couple of classics, which we absolutely did have, and which absolutely no longer exist. So there you go. We used to have a chain of stores here as well called Future Shop, and those went away. I think Best Buy bought them out or something. But they were also a good place to go for computers and video games and such at one time. But yeah, the retail options are really dwindling now, which makes sense, I guess, as everyone's buying stuff online instead. I still like to retail shop as much as possible though, but yeah, the practicality of it's becoming less and less. It's like even the stores that remain, they're not stocking as much. And it's like, oh, you want that? We'll just go online and buy it. It's like, oh. All right. So sometimes those arrow blocks show up at the worst time, and they protect enemies from your fire. And it's not super convenient. But okay, D. We can do this. D, D, D. Jacob, remember Radio Shack, but not Circuit City. So, like, Circuit City, like, every Radio Shack seemed to turn into a Circuit City. I always assumed, like, they just changed their name or something. Maybe that wasn't how it went down, but regardless, they're both gone now. And of course, Best Buy doesn't, carry physical stuff anymore. I mean, actually, it's not true. In Canada, Best Buy still has some physical video games, but they mostly carry, like, freaking fridges and dishwashers now, which is like a complete 180 from what you used to go to Best Buy for. You used to go there for TVs and, again, computers and video games and all that, and music. And, but yeah, now it's like home appliances, which is like, where did Best Buy suddenly decide to go down that route? You know, Best Buy was where I used to go. You know, Nintendo used to set up like demos. Like I remember the Wii U when it first came out. You go to Best Buy and, you know, Year of Luigi. I got like those foam Luigi hats and some magnets and flags, and, you know, try out the new Mario Kart game and stuff. So it's so weird to see how Best Buy has changed over the years too. Oh no. There goes my point bonus. I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I'm probably gonna die trying, so. Again, once you hit 50,000, it's like the points aren't important, but it's, when the bonus is being displayed on screen and enemies aren't spawning. That's the nice part. Okay. It's funny, Series still... I gotta read that, what you wrote there, Cole. Sorry for not keeping up with that. It's hard to read the messages and shmup at the same time. It's a good way to get... apparently, Tecmo made a Super Star Force for the Famicom. Yes, Cola. Let me see here. It's funny, Sears stopped the catalog in 1993 before the internet was widely available. Maybe that was only a US thing. Because I'm sure growing up, like at Christmas time, the Sears catalog would come along. So 1993 definitely sounds a bit early for that, at least in Canada. Maybe the US was different. Best Buy out here still sells video games and other merchandise. Dragonia. Hello, welcome, Dragonia. Hope you're doing well. After we got also lost the best electronics store, Comp USA. Got many GameCube games there. Smart actually makes the money, unlike selling video games. Christian, but selling fridges and stuff. Because the fridges are made so cheap these days. You got to buy a new one like every 3 years. Like it's funny, growing up we had these appliances that like my parents had for like 30 years, and then you replace them, and it's like, that one breaks in like 5 to 10 years. Nothing's built to last anymore. But alright, so let's let this guy chase us around a little bit. Again, this loop, once you're powered up, which like I love being powered up, but I hate this freaking repetitive thing. Alright, there you go. Wow, they're all just going through like my stream of bullets there. But where are we? Z now? Doing not too shabby. So I hate the brag, because that's when everything goes downhill. We're trying to get past level M to keep making progress here. I've not looked at the clock in a while. I have no perspective of just how late it's gotten. Oh, into a corner. It's tough when they come so fast and like they just shoot so constantly. Normally I get by that without a death. So it's a little sad to have gotten one at that point, but alright, we got the extra life for the 500,000. And now we're on our own. But we got the good music back, so looking at the upside. But right back to the repetitive music again. Which, hey, if you're gonna die, do it right before you can get your power-up back. Because, yeah, the gap between power-ups is just so huge. Usually, shmups at least will have more frequent power-ups. But, hey, we beat Sky Kid a while back. And that was one of the toughest shmups I had played to that point. And that was 26 levels, and there's no power-ups in that game whatsoever. So I guess at least we got power-ups in this one. Minor power-ups. You used to work at Best Buy, Christian. There you go. It's actually pretty funny that consumers didn't start to realize that digital companies' copies aren't owned by them and get taken away. This physical does have a use, ownership of purchased goods. The problem with physical that I feel like doesn't get addressed enough though, is that, you know, okay, so you have your console, and sure, you bought the game now, maybe it needs like an update still from the server in order to play. You know, 20 years later, that server might not be there, so even though you have this physical game, you know, if part of it is required to be downloaded still, you know, the physical copy doesn't do you much good. If the company ever decides to not offer those download update servers anymore. I'm sure people will find a way to, you know, back those up at some point, but then people will probably find a way to back up the entire game anyway, so it's like at that point, isn't it kind of like in for a penny, in for a pound? Obviously, I still prefer physical. But I just think, you know, long term, people need to realize that just because you have this physical cart, you know, if there was like some massive day one update or something, that cart might not do you so well 20 years from now if you try to go play it. And your console doesn't already have the update installed. So it's a big mess all around. But yeah, of course, like, you know, for a store like Steam to just kind of, you know, yank a digital purchase that you've already made for no real reason other than some license agreements up or something, like, yeah, that's not right. Ooh. When's the last time I updated my Star Tropics cart? Right, right, Cola? I mean, there was that patch recently, or not recently. I can't believe how many years it's been now. That fixed those music tracks, which of course we've previously discussed. So I mean, I guess that's the closest you could get technically. It's like a Star Tropics update, right? But obviously, it's not really required. And you know, you and I played it enough with the music the other way that you know you don't even really notice it at this point. So what if I don't defeat any of you? Like, this is probably going to be a really bad idea. Yeah. Because otherwise, you're going into, like, the line of fire here. No! Ah, those fast guys. You're supposed to stay off to the side, but it was, like, the first one that got me. So I had no chance to hide. Well, we're back to no power-up. But, hey, you know, when you see these enemies, the power-up is coming. But, oh, I would have loved to have had the faster movement. Because I think this is when it starts mixing in with the fast ones, right? Like, this never ends, their firepower. If only there was, like, a safe spot where you could just, like, camp and they would never hit you. But I don't think there's such a thing. Just how all over the place they are. Alright. No, so again, it's not the one when they start mixing in the fast ones. Alright, so power up, we're gonna get back right here. 4 lives, level T. So if I died right now, it'd be really bad because the boss would not spawn again upon respawn. Because I'd destroyed so much stuff since the music changed. Alright, something like that. Update this NES game. Right? I've been thinking about it would be really cool to have a ROM hack that adds that hidden clear value to the screen so you knew how close you were to reaching it. Like, that'd be fun, right? Like, that wouldn't really change the game all that much, but it'd be neat to know just how many more things you have to destroy before the boss spawns. Like, I feel like that'd be, like, the most basic ROM hack ever, and I've almost considered, like, maybe learning how to make something like that myself as like a learning project to maybe get more into ROM hacking that isn't just like using pre-existing level editors, but we'll see. That could be a good training tool for, you know, the next person out there who for some reason decides to torture themselves with beating Star Force. Alrighty though, here we go. But again, thanks everyone for joining today. I hope you're having fun watching me play this crazy game. Things aren't going too shabby, but we still got a long way to go. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, what? There we go. Iota! Nintendo was so bad about forcing system updates by including it on the disc in the Wii era. So obsessed with piracy. Yeah, like that was a big thing. So many Wii updates, so many updates on everything. Beta Target, is that a Scientology game? No, I thought it was like a new store that Target was opening up. This game reminds me of those 1942 top-down shmups, Dragonia. Yeah, it definitely has that vibe, but I will give it this. 1942 probably has some of the worst music on the NES. Or like if you really want your ears to bleed, play 1942. This is a lot more fun than 1942, I'll give it that. Oh. Okay, so we got one left to kind of hang out with for a little bit. Alright, we're back to K, everybody! Kappa time! Wow, I didn't even realize we were getting that close. I wish it was just simple. I wish it was just like levels, like world A, B, C, D, E, F, G sort of thing. I can't remember the order that the Greek alphabet appears. Oh. Oh, God. No! I want my bonus points! No! Oh. At least we didn't die. Yet. Oops. Usually things happen in threes? No, I was expecting more. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay. That was a great time for a screen clear thing to show up. And having the fast movement during this, I love it. Oh, I don't like the arrow blocks, though. No! I remember this part. We always get to this part. And these guys drop for like 5 freaking years. Like, oh, no. When you don't have the fast movement, I always lose so many lives to this. Because it's like, what is the strategy? When they're just so constant with their firepower. It's all about that dodging, I guess. Gotta get good. Okay. But it's not over, though. Those guys will come back after the boss, probably. Jacob, in 1942, literally had no music, only bad sound effects. Exactly. No, so the awful low health music, you might be thinking of 1943, which has a kind of weird track that plays when you're low on health as well. But otherwise, the music in 1943 is really good. Oh. I'm hiding. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't trust that there's not going to be more. And more. Get the occasional kill if you just kind of camp. But like, you'd have to be crazy to stay in the middle during all this. Like, look at that. You're not dodging all of that. There's no way. When it slows down for a second, normally it's like, oh, slow down. This game's the worst game ever made. But honestly, I kind of appreciate it. So feel free to do that more, game. Oh, boss time. Lambda. You played the arcade cabinet of this once. The Awesome Panda LPs. Welcome. You thought 1943 was the one with the off. Oh, yeah, yeah. You played the arcade cabinet of this once. Got maybe the 3rd level. And still got a high score. Nice. Andrew Force for the NES. Welcome, Loot. Hope you're doing well. We're back to M. We never beat M. Can we change that? Are we halfway through the freaking Greek alphabet yet? I think this is like getting close. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah! Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Look at that guy. He just doesn't stop shooting. Oh, this is like when everything got really slow for some reason. Which, I mean, I'm not going to complain. It was like everything slows down, but there's like way more of everything. I wonder if the enemy formations like eventually hit like a point where they just loop back around like the first ones. That would be so nice, and there was no reason for that death. That was just me playing like an absolute freaking like never played a shmup before guy. Oh wow, amazing. This was a great time to lose my faster speed. Now we know why we've made it this far, but not actually beaten this before. Ooh. Ooh, a boss. It's Moo! There you go. Coming up next, Moo 2. No, probably not. Alright, it's N, everybody, for new. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, I'm gonna pretend like that was all skill, and I'm not just freaking lucky as heck. Oh, still got nailed. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Get me out of here, get me out of here. Like, look how slow it is. I love it. Are they even shooting? Like, I actually kind of just let them do their thing. Slowly float to the bottom while I get points this way. And then I was just expecting them to do, like, the massive turnaround or something and just bump. Oh! Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, if everything wants to remain this slow for the rest of the game, please, please, just, you can be as slow as you like. No rush. Just, hang out for a while. Why not? Did they even test this far? Like, does this game actually have an ending, I wonder? Like, compare how slow these are now to the ones we had to face earlier. Oh! And thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Okay, level N. Not too bad for new. So clearly this game doesn't have a difficulty curve. Just like, now we feel like being easy for some reason. Enjoy. Why not? We got into the Pie Factory and Donkey Kong Arcade. You know, the version that doesn't play the stages in order. So yeah, Super Tom Brother, the original arcade version had that, you know, 25M, 50M, which was the Pie Factory, 75M, and then like the final level. Nintendo would eventually release an actual updated version of the NES ROM, which included the Pie Factory, which is pretty cool. I forget what it was included with. I think it was like a... Oh, look at this. Oh, we just barely got the one up. Thank you. This is giving me hope. Again, I forgot just how nice the game got at this point. Like, X! X! Oh, is that my power-up? Is that my power-up? Yes! Give me the speed! What the crud? You need to get out of here. Well, that was eventful. And now it's back to being difficult again. Everything's shooting at you again. I guess, okay, you got a nice break. That was sad. That was uncalled for. What a horrible death I just took. And then, yeah, you know, things were nice and slow, but psych! Game's not that nice. Okay, don't die because the boss is coming. Okay, thank goodness. X, everybody! X for she, I think. Alright. Got 2 extra lives. Alright, this is as far as I've made it. Oh! Ah, good start, good start. What was that, like 3 points before we died? Oh god. Okay, well, at least they weren't that bad. Just go away! Thank you. What the heck is this? Whoa, 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 whoa. That was uncalled for. I guess I should maybe just hide off to the side and like not deal with those guys. Because it seems like the more you shoot them, like the worse they get. Like, yeah, have fun. Bye. Don't write. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, one of these guys, sure. Oh, boss. Okay. Okay, okay. It's Omicron, everybody! Here we go. Alright, did it. We killed Omicron. Dragonia. Oh boy. It's P, everybody! And after Pie Factory goes elevators. Or finally start to play the stages in order. The awesome panda LPs with the dizzy emoji. Oh, no lives. What comes after? Oh, I need to look at our. This is the farthest I've ever made it. Pi P is coming next. PI. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 levels left to go still. Oh. with no lives. Here there'll just be like a million one-up coming, like a 1 million up. I wouldn't complain. Okay. Oh no! Like, how do you prepare for that? Oh, I was right in the middle. The exact worst place I could possibly have been for that enemy set. Well, we know now, I guess. To be prepared. Well, I mean, we definitely made a new distance that time. Dang, that was fast, Jacob. I mean, if it's following the Greek alphabet, it looks like Omega will probably be the last level. Wow, 2.5 hours almost so far. But honestly, it's been so fun. And I appreciate everyone who's been hanging out. Whew. I think I'm going to take a break for a minute. And we'll come back and give it another go. So I appreciate all your patience. Again, thanks how awesome everyone's been so far. And stay tuned. That's not what I want. Starting soon. Ah, that's more like it. All right, everyone. Thank you for your patience there. Really appreciate that. You always get lost in the pirate cave in TTYD, despite the fact you've beaten it twice. Never completed the game 100%. Yeah, TTYD is so much fun. It has lots of extra stuff to do in addition to like the main story. I love that the Toads are disappointed when Paper Mario floats by in boat form. Yeah, again, there's just so much to see in that game, and I feel like they've even added like a couple more things here and there that just add to the whole experience. It's a really fun remake overall, and I've been really enjoying checking it out so far. But thank you, Dragonia! Alright, let me refresh myself with our... let me make sure I also unmuted the mic. It looks like we're good. Where's my photo of the Greek alphabet here? So yeah, we beat Omicron. We got to level P. So we're into the third quarter. We're almost 3/4 done. After P, there's Rho, and then Sigma. And if we can beat Sigma, then we're in the final quarter. Where again, it's Tau, Upsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi, and Omega. All right. Who's ready to try again? Daniel. We are back indeed. All right, let's go. Just arrange that there. Hopefully that's good. Let me know if everything still sounds good. Hopefully there shouldn't be any audio issues now, but all right. Again, the goal is to make more progress every time than the last time. That's a big ask now. You need to beat like 16 levels in order to keep that pace. Go. Alrighty, everyone. Well, we got one level down, so it looks like I didn't lose too much of my ability while I was gone for a second there. Again, it's important to get up and stretch every once in a while. Doesn't have to be like the Virtual Boy and like demand that you get up from your seat. It's always good to take a brief break for a second there. So that's what happens if you don't defeat that guy properly. Is he turns into like a bigger thing that's really not that big of a deal to defeat. Yeah, I guess I need to get back and think a little bit. But there you go. There's the one up. Ooh. But yeah, there's still so much coming out for the Switch. I'm really curious. I guess we're less than a month away now from Nintendo's next Direct. Curious to see exactly what they'll fill that up with, considering we all know that the next Nintendo console's coming. It's like just how much they still going to release or announce for like the Switch, right? I bet it will be like mostly. It'll be like the look at Luigi's Mansion a little bit maybe. I guess it depends on if it comes out if this Direct is before or after Luigi's Mansion releases. Yeah, see, I knew this was going to be the one that did that. It will talk about the Nintendo World Championships, which I'm definitely getting and will definitely stream. And I bet it will probably talk about like some Nintendo Switch Online releases. Will we finally get Banjo-Tooie on Nintendo Switch? Nuts and Bolts has been a lot of fun. Of course, tomorrow we'll be having another Nuts and Bolts stream, getting a little bit further in that. On Friday, I'm going to a baseball game. It's going to be a long day. Got a whole day planned in that regard, so it should be interesting. But yeah, hopefully you've all been doing well and that you've had a nice week so far. And here we are at level G for Gamma. One little straggler guy there. And we have this formation. So for those who might not have been tuned in since the beginning, allow me to once again go over how this game works. There's 24 levels, one for each of the Greek letters in the alphabet. And the way that bosses show up is not based on like how far you get into the level, but basically there's a hidden value that once you accumulate 250 of these hidden points, the boss will spawn. And you get 1 point for each enemy defeated and 2 for each block in kind of the background that you defeat. So the real thing you kind of want to do in this game is not defeat enemies, but get all this extra junk in the background, because that's what adds up quicker to getting the bosses to appear. So if you don't realize that, because like, nothing comes out of these boxes, there's never any items in them or anything. So you might just think, oh, I'm not going to worry about them. But no, you actually want to destroy them because they make the boss show up faster. Enemies still give you 1 of these hidden points. And again, so you need 250, 2 for a block, 1 for an enemy. They all add up in the end. But obviously defeating a lot of these blocks is going to get you to the boss that much faster. And that's what you want. Don't want any extra excuse to, delay things is not needed. But alright. You also get enemies like these guys, who you can make them chase you for a little bit. And you can delay future enemy patterns from showing up. Because the more enemies that show up, the more difficult things seem to get, except sometimes not. The difficulty curve in this game's a little weird, but I've found it makes sense to, delay things getting more difficult for as long as possible, and you can make that happen by kind of just keeping enemies like this on screen for a while. But they will eventually get too fast, and there's nothing you can do about them. Alright, third boss. Yeah, it really does seem like NES Remix, right? And I think there's less games on it than you already have if you'd if they just released NES Remix 1 and 2 Pack HD Edition. I mean, I guess it was already HD, Switch Edition. I think you already have more content in there, it looks like, than you have in the Nintendo World Championship Switch game. So I agree, it's a little disappointing in that regard. I think it's there's probably going to be DLC, and there's going to be the weekly challenges and stuff, so I'm curious to see how all of that goes down. And of course I love the NES, so it's something I have to check out, but I am kind of tired of Nintendo always going back to the same NES games. It's always Ice Climber and Mario 1 and Dr. Mario. It's it's the same safe NES games they're always going back to. Now most of the other ones are, would require licensing and such. So I suppose that's why they don't touch those, but I think we can all see most of those NES games like the back of our hand by this point. So it'd be nice to see them delve into the library a bit more, as I hope I've showed people through my streams and such that there's a lot more to the NES library than Nintendo might make you think at times. We need a shmup in there. I don't think there's a single shmup in that game. How am I going to show off all my shmup skills? Yeah, this is not good. But it worked. There you go. Alright, boss number 4, I think. 20 to go. Hello, Diego, welcome! Hope you're having a great night. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Alright, E. Can I memorize all these yet? Epsilon should be coming next. What's our record without a death? I hate to bring up that conversation because you know how bad it's going to get all of a sudden. But I'm actually curious. I haven't been paying too much attention. Maybe the level after this one. I do notice my mashing speed is a little bit down from what it was 3 hours ago. And that's just going to happen when you play a shmup, right? Remember that enemy pattern shows up in like sets of 3, so the third one, we can kind of just keep hanging around. Oh, but I always do this. Yeah, I shouldn't have got rid of him, actually. Because, yeah, once it's too late, it's too late. Ooh. Okay. Would have loved to get some point bonus there, but it's not overly important. Alright. E. Epsilon. Not too shabby. Ew. What's that? Super Tumblr, the worst part about the NES World Championships game coming out for Switch is the NES cart it comes with is fake. It doesn't actually function like a real NES cart. It's just a hunk of plastic. So yes, it would be so cool if it was like a real NES cart. And you know, other companies are releasing NES games these days. You know, whether they're reproductions or even like completely new things like that Rugrats game coming out. So it's like not beyond the ability for Nintendo to be able to do something like that. People, I know we had a discussion in the Discord server about Nintendo potentially not wanting to have to deal with all the people who try to play it, and it's like, it's not working in my NES, and suddenly Nintendo is like forced to, you know, troubleshoot NES consoles and NES games again. Like, that's not a road they want to go down, where at least if it's like a, you know, a third-party company releasing NES games, I guess they can feel like that's not their responsibility. Oh, no! Yeah, that's our first death. So again, level 6 seems to kind of be where I tend to screw up for the first time. No. And when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? Ah. Unfortunate 2 deaths there. Very unfortunate. So that enemy in particular, like when it comes down at you quickly, just because of the amount that it shoots at you, and you don't have time to destroy them before they get too close, they become tricky to dodge. I need a better strategy for them. Just like hug the left or something. Hug the left or right. I always thought that maybe staying in the middle was a better idea, but maybe it's not. Because then you're being attacked from both sides. Or I feel like maybe just hugging a wall. I mean, it didn't really help either. Because then there's like so many in the middle. I feel like if I can find a good strategy for that enemy, oh, it would change my game a lot. But I'm not there yet. But yeah, maybe hugging a wall makes more sense than being a sitting duck in the middle. But neither seem ideal. No, at least we got a 1-up back. But we can't lose any more. Like, that was some bad deaths there. Would I die 2 or 3 times? Ugh, I don't even like thinking about it. Also, the Famicom edition in Japan comes with 2 Famicom Switch Online controllers. Why didn't we get controllers with ours? It's not fair. So in Japan, I think they get, is it like a pin set as well as the controllers? I think theirs costs a bit more. I mean, it depends, basically. You know, there's the whole conversion rate thing going on. There's just like 10,000 yen. Or it's like 9,900. 9,900. So, ish. It's up there in price. But yeah, by the time you convert it, maybe it's not so bad. But yeah, the point is, yeah, they don't get the cart, but they get the controllers instead. I think I've told the story before if I bought those controllers from Nintendo Switch Online, and they lagged horribly. But everyone tells me that theirs don't, so maybe I just got like a really unlucky pair. But alright. E. This one's Ada, right? I'm gonna know my Greek alphabet so well. Ugh. No more extra lives from points coming, though. If there was like, you know, like every 100,000 points got you a 1-up or something, that'd be so nice. But unfortunately, no such luck. You know, it just does like a Battletoads on you. That game had an extra life every 100,000. Heck, even Silver Surfers every 100,000 points gets you a life. What does everyone think? Is this game more difficult than Silver Surfer? I beat that game in like 90 minutes. And this one is clearly taking longer than that. It's just like the unrelenting enemies. And the fact it's just like a big marathon on your mind without any break, really. I almost ran into that bullet from like the side. Now see, when they're nice and slow like this, you have a chance to defeat them before they get too close, and that's huge. Boss time! Oh. Well, the thing about lag is that, like, you can adapt to it. Eventually, if you play a game and there's a little bit of lag, your mind will just gradually figure out that there's lag and, like, you know, change your inputs accordingly. But as someone who's played, like, so many NES games, to play, like, Mario 3 with those controllers on Nintendo Switch Online, like, it's crazy. It's how noticeable it is for someone like me, but you know, some people might not pick up on it, but again, maybe I just got a bad set of controllers. Like, I'm not denying that maybe other people's are just better. But I definitely... Like, that's the thing, too. Like, I can play with, like, the Pro Controller or the Joy-Cons, and they don't have this horrible lag. So it's, like, just the controller for some reason. There's the life. Up to 5. Let's not screw it up. No! I thought... I need to see the replay. Sometimes I think the hitbox is wonky, but it could just be me complaining. And it doesn't help that on... the gray background, it's harder to see the bullets sometimes. I really like when they're shooting at me over, like, the black stars. So I feel like I can dodge a lot better because I can see the bullets a lot better. Oh, but I have a chance to get this 1-up back, which would mean nothing actually lost. This is fascinating. So here's a trick that I have attempted to pull off at an earlier point in the game. But since when you die, you get sent back a little bit. If there's a point where you can earn 1-ups, you can actually potentially abuse that to, like, keep getting the 1-up. But unless there's, like, 2 together, you can't profit from it. But you could just, like, keep doing this one part, keep getting that 1-up, and then if you die, it's like, okay, well, I didn't really lose anything. And, like, you could try to abuse that, kinda. And it's tempting. But it's also it's riskier than you'd think. Because the 1-up's not guaranteed. Because it's only one, like, of those 8 blocks. Lots to think about. The question is if there's, like, a second one coming. Like, if you could get 2, die, and then get 2 more, like, obviously that puts you in a really good position. But is this all just kind of messing around and it's distracting me from the main goal? Like, I should just be putting my main focus on the game. And not the game within the game. The mind game you could potentially play. Anyway, that was just a big ramble that probably made no sense. Let's get back to things. But we're already back to Kappa, which is pretty good. Kind of... It's funny how you get to a point where you just don't really think about, you know, how far you're making it. You just kind of play. And yeah, just looking up there. K, huh? Interesting. Oh. Oh! Thank you. Well, again, I got the 1-up and I died, so I might be able to get that 1-up back again. As long as I don't die again. Where did the 1-up go? Oops, I didn't mean to break them all. Oh, don't do that to me! Don't do that to me! Oh, and it takes us back here. So the 1-up still will probably come. It's just a long way away. No, I was trying to... Oh, there's the 1-up! Darn it, darn it, darn it! Oh, we have activated the boss. Okay. See how you can just bring that boss up anytime you get enough of those clear points. Felt at a metal hardcore show. Hello, Ma KCC! Welcome! Hope you're okay. Take care of yourself. It's like you want to stay against the side, but eventually they corner you. This is just so ridiculous. We've been doing well. But yeah, this is the one part that always gets me. Is this one part where these guys come down and they mix the fast ones with the slow ones. Every attempt, it seems like we lose a lot of lives to this. And if I could just figure this out, it would change everything. Because it doesn't help that this goes on for so long. So we got a power up here because we just beat that guy. Cute. Alright, well we're at L for Lambda. And it goes Mu, Nu, Omicron. And that's the most we've beat. And what came after that? No, where's She? I think I forgot about She somewhere. I think that comes after Nu. So yeah, we're not quite back to the furthest we've been. And our lives are getting down there, so it's a little scary. I feel like I get more kills when I'm on the right here, so that's what I'm gonna do. Oh god. Like, see, that's what happened to us last time. That's how our last run ended. So we were just in the middle, chilling out. And then that friggin' came. And all the fun was over. Where's that point when everything slows down again? I want to see that. That was nice. And we'll take bonus points, even though they don't do anything now. I love the whack-a-bumps from the Paper Mario games. Who knew mole meat was so good at healing 25 HP and FP, right? But you gotta hit that poor guy in the head. That's not nice. Oh! Got right through my my shots there. Which just tells you I'm not as fast as I was. Normally that would never happen. And yeah, we're just kind of chilling out with this guy since nothing's really happening in this area. So we'll wait for stuff to come back. Like that. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Yeah, there's that formation that happens like that. So I need to remember that happens after... In fact, a lot of the worst formations seem to happen after the squares, which is interesting. Oh, this is beautiful, beautiful. Oh, this is that point when everything like slows down again? No! No way I just fit through that. No way. No way. Not that it's gonna matter. You have like no freaking lives left. Oh. And that's only Moo. And we got New. And like I said, New, She, Omicron. And then like P or whatever. Pi. You can't do anything about that. Like, they just show up out of nowhere and you're dead. Well, a little bit back. Not too far back, but a little bit back compared to our last run. Interesting, interesting. Well, how's everyone holding up tonight? Hope you're all doing well. Looks like we're just hitting the 3-hour mark here. And I'm definitely in the mood for another try. We'll see. If we make progress this try, then I will keep pushing forward. But if I make... That will be my rule. If I make no progress 2 times in a row, we'll live to fight another day and come back with a fresh set of thumbs. I think that's a reasonable wager to make. We don't need this to be another snake rattle and roll 7:30 a.m. thing. Where then I come back the next day and just knock it out of the park on the first freaking try. But sometimes you just need that, little break, No reason to hurt yourself. The game will be there tomorrow. It's not going to get revoked like a digital download. Although saying that, the next stream would probably not be tomorrow night because that would be Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Which, yeah, if perhaps you've just found the stream and not sure what you're getting into, welcome. Hope you're having a great night. I play all sorts of crazy stuff on this channel. I'm trying to beat every single NES game. I'm over 600 at this point. In fact, this would be number 602. And I say that. Okay, well, this doesn't count as a real attempt. But yeah, it's been good times. And I play lots of other funky stuff, too. On Thursdays, we have Rareware Thursday, where I've beat Banjo-Kazooie 1 and 2, 100% completion. And we're now currently working on Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, which is not as bad as people say. It definitely takes a little while to warm up. But that's a typical thing. A lot of people like to judge games based on like the first 15 minutes. And that's like the worst thing you could do. Can you imagine if people judged like The Legend of Zelda 1 on like the first 15 minutes? Like there's so much potential in that game to not go the right way, to not even find the first level in that first 15 minutes. To not even go into the cave and get the sword. You could screw that up. But people love that. And I always use what's it called? Deadly Towers as my example. A game where, yeah, you start out super weak. It takes like 4 minutes to kill anything. But by the end, you get powered up, your sword's stronger, you can shoot more than one sword at a time. And I really enjoyed Deadly Towers by the end. But I mean, yes, it did take like an hour or two to actually, get to a point where I was making good progress. But, sometimes you just gotta stick with the games. I understand that's not everyone's thing, but it's amazing how it can change if you give a game a chance. Oh. He just despawned. Maybe I should be using those guys to my advantage more. Because I always defeat them to try and get the 50,000 bonus points. But maybe if I let them spawn and just kind of hang out, that'd be good as well for scrolling the map a bit. Did we do Grunty's Revenge on the GBA? We have not yet. My logic being I want to get to... nuts and bolts because the Xbox Live marketplace on the 360 will be closing down at the end of July. And there is DLC for nuts and bolts. The question remains, which has not yet been decided, do I want to 100% nuts and bolts and play the DLC? So see, like if I want to do that, then that's why we had to play it now, so I can still access that before the store's gone forever. I also did that video where I looked at the entirety pretty much of the Xbox Live Arcade Marketplace. So check that out on my channel if you're curious if there might be anything you want to download before that store is gone forever. But the funny thing is that there has been a rumor going around that Grunty's Revenge might be coming out on Nintendo Switch Online. So, you know, hey, if that happens, it'd be perfect timing for me to beat Nuts and Bolts. And then we can play that in HD. There's my life. Oh, there you go, the boss is coming. But at the very least, I've made it further than I've ever made it before tonight. And I like that. I like that we've made at least some progress tonight, assuming this isn't going to be a run where we get even farther. But yeah, crazy. It's been 18 and a half years since the 360 came out, Ma Casey's. I can't believe it either. Isn't that nuts? Dragonia, you're going to do doing good so far as playing some Pokemon Ultra Moon. Nice. Be precise, the Xbox store will shut down on your birthday. Hey, your birthday's exactly 2 months after mine. Very cool. Well, happy early birthday, except that's not going to be the best gift, I suppose. And hey, after we beat Nuts and Bolts and potentially Grunty's Revenge, we're even going to be playing the ukulele game. So if you've always wanted to see what those were like, stick around. As someone who's played the original ukulele but not 100%ed it, and who has pretty much 100%ed the sequel, the side-scrolling Donkey Kong Country ripoff sequel, I can tell you they're also not as bad as people say. Particularly the Impossible Lair is actually phenomenal. But you'd never know it, and that game always goes on sale for like $5 on Steam, on the Switch. I could not recommend enough that you check it out for a price like that. I mean, heck, I'd pay full price for it, but I mean, definitely buy it when it's on sale. And even full price, it's only like a $40 game. It's one of those crazy cases where, like, you know, it's half the price of a AAA game, and yet I'd say it's like right up there in quality with them. Oh, see, sometimes those guys come from the bottom, which is really weird. And it just throws you for a loop, because enemies never come from the bottom, really. And I think that has something to do with you being on, like, the upper half of the screen, and then it makes it spawn from the bottom, but you're just not ready for it. Ah. When I get past this, we have a power-up coming. See, when they're nice and slow like that, I mean, there's ups and downs to them being slow, obviously. Okay. You can tell I'm getting a little bit worn out because I'm not getting the 50,000 bonus every time. But that's how it goes. Same with muscle training. You can't just lift like 1,000,000 weights in one night. Oh, you're welcome, Dragonia. I noticed sister had an Xbox One, you'd play ukulele, and you liked it, but I was surprised that people were mixed on it. Oh boy, so that, I mean, of course, goes back to the fact it was like a Kickstarter, right? And that was the age when, you know, Mighty Number 9 was a thing. It seemed like no Kickstarter could live up to the expectations that anyone had on it originally. Now, Mighty Number 9, I get, because it looked nothing like the concept art. The concept art, if you go back, it was very nice. It was 2D. It ends up being like this 3D mess with the pizza explosions and all that. I get it. And, you know, as someone who backed it for $60 and got like the NES style box, I still quite enjoyed the game. But I understand it's not what people were hoping for. And of course, ukulele. I mean, people are hoping for something that's as great as the original Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, and is it? Probably not. So, I mean, you know, if your expectations were that high, you were just doomed to be disappointed. But as a game, if you just, like, look at it on its own, it's not that bad. There you go. But yeah, even if you don't play the original ukulele, just like bunny hop over it to the impossible layer. If you like the Donkey Kong Country games, it's a lot like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, but better. So you'll like it. Ugh, okay, we got lucky. I will admit, I appreciate that the hitbox in this game can be pretty generous at times. Like, at times it feels generous, and other times it feels like, did I even touch that? But maybe that's just copium. But honestly, I'm not sure, because I feel like sometimes... Because that's the thing about a shmup, is that you gotta, like, you know, look at the enemies coming at you, so you don't always have your eyes completely focused on your ship at the bottom. Like, it's a matter of, like, what do I look at and when? And sometimes I feel like I'm looking up at the top of the screen to see what I'm shooting at. And it's like, did the bullet even really hit me there? Like, what? But that's how shmups go. Overall, though, I think we've learned a lot, and we're getting better. But, you know, if you compare this to, like, my first couple of runs of the night, which I always said, you know, coming into tonight, my record was level 0. So, even though the first run was very bad, that was just a matter of me warming up. But the fact that we have made progress to the level after level 0 is nice, but not as much progress as I would have hoped. But maybe next time. Again, I'm assuming we don't get further tonight. I'm kind of counting this out when we're, like, not even there yet. Getting down before we need to be. Was this the first or the second E? Based on the score, it's probably the first one. I'm just in autopilot mode on this point. Alright, David Ray, see you Thursday night, yeah! So, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I don't know if it'll be 9 p.m. Yeah, probably 9 p.m. 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Probably close to 9 p.m. Eastern time for the next level of that. We did the Gigaseum last time, which was the 4th level of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Looks like only 2 more levels to go, with the last one being Spiral Mountain, which is kind of cool, so curious to see what's in store next. Things are definitely picking up a little bit in difficulty, but also my favorite part of the last episode of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts was when Grunty just decided to not show up because she knew I was going to kick her butt so bad. And we had that Grunty battle where she just, like, wasn't even there. Well, this is really not a good setup because I can't cross over the center barrier and, you know, defeat anything in the middle there because of all of those arrow blocks. And there's just me not being able to play shmups, apparently. But yeah, you know, when Grunty didn't show up, that was really fun. There we go. You just really didn't like the first world in Yooka-Laylee. It seems so barren and empty since the items you pick up are so spread far out. No, I was trying to get the bonus and instead let my guard down and got hit by the bullet. Oh, I mean, it's almost kind of similar to Nuts and Bolts in that way then, where the worlds are pretty big, but the items to pick up are pretty, kind of spread out in that sense. I felt that the worlds in that game feel a lot like Banjo-Tooie, where Banjo-Tooie really didn't have that much to pick up in its worlds, because everything's in nests, right? Like, in Banjo-Tooie, you'd find all of the notes in some levels in, like, the first couple minutes. It's like, the rest of the time you're just looking for jiggies and, like, honeycombs and Cheeto pages. And there was a lot of kind of walking around not doing much. So, I don't know, I kind of felt it was, like, Tooie in that sense. But when we get to it, we'll definitely see how my opinion holds up. But I understand your angle. Totally. Okay. All right, we gotta get back into the zone here. Oops, alright, so we'll let these guys come on down. Where are we anyway? Let me look at our fun old list of Greek letters. We're currently at Eta. Eta, Theta. Oh my god, we're still like 10 away from our record. We got a ways to go. Oh, from behind. Again, it kind of blended in with the gray floor. I didn't even really see it till like the last second. Guys falling down. So these guys just gotta. Oh, no. See, that's what I'm talking about. Those guys always seem to find a way to hit you, even though their pattern's probably kind of set. So, like, if I just didn't panic with them. Okay, so these guys are going to come across the center. Do a thing like that. Not get hit by the raining enemies. There we go. Alright, if I can get through this, we get another power-up. Good practice for bullet dodging anyway. Ah! And I think that's probably where we're gonna wrap for tonight. That was a poor attempt. But we'll be back another night with this one. Maybe sometime on the weekend, because tomorrow is gonna be Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Friday there will likely not be a stream, so either Saturday or Sunday, I'd say we'll probably be seeing this again. But thanks everyone for joining tonight. Hope you've enjoyed Star Force. It's a journey. It really is, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I know that we're eventually going to get that winning run, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. But for now, I think this is where we're going to call it a day. Is suddenly no data? Oh, YouTube's complaining, but I think we're still online. Thanks, Christian. Thanks, Jacob. Hope you all had a great one, and I'll see you all later. Really happy I could finally play some NES again for you, Afflicted. Again, hope to beat this one and we can get back to the consistent NES streams. And Dragonia, have a great night.